So I made a video on this a while back, and for some reason I decided not to post it. But after watching this, whatever the hell is going on in the United States with drag your kids to pride events where they're bringing kids to strip clubs and bars and having them give transsexuals money as if they are in a strip club or something, I thought, the US is really fucking screwed up. It's no wonder I love it here in Belarus. It's insane that is protected by police in the United States. So that these sick perverts can do their stuff with children. So the point of this video is stop embracing, accepting, and tolerating and identifying with the worst parts of yourself. Now, if you're a sick pervert, doesn't matter. If you don't have it affect anybody else. What a crazy thing that is. Like, you can actually be fucked up as long as you don't fuck up other people. As long as you don't go around fucking up children, trying to manipulate them, trying to brainwash them to get fucked up like you so that you feel better and you have company. This is a well-known phenomenon. It's well known that, for example, drug addicts will offer you drugs so that you'll be a drug addict with them. Homosexuals will try to convince you to be a homosexual so that you will go along with it with them, and they'll feel better about themselves. They'll have buddies and stuff. I've got news for you. Everybody is screwed up in some sort of way, whether it's little or big. Luckily, I'm not screwed up that much. Some people are really screwed up. I don't know how screwed up you are. Everyone's got little problems. But the difference between people is how you deal with them and how you are as a person. Some people have problems, whether they're little or big, and they decide to push them aside. Be a normal, good person. Not promote their problems. For example, if I'm lazy and I don't like to walk around, I don't try to convince other people that we should not walk around. Walking around is not good. People that walk around are terrorists. We need to be arresting people that walk around, and if you say we should walk around, you need to be canceled off the internet. Of course I wouldn't. Just because I don't want to walk, and by the way, I like walking around. But just because someone doesn't like walking around doesn't mean that they need to try to convince everybody else not to walk around and to target them as terrorists or extremists. That's wrong. And guess what? It's just morally wrong to promote other people to have your same weaknesses, your same illnesses, your same whatever you want to call them, because everybody has faults. And a big difference is some people admit that they have faults. I admit that I have faults. I'm not going to tell you what my faults are. I don't know, maybe I have, maybe I will, but not in this video at least. But it reminds me of a time when I was talking with my mother and she was not happy about some of my faults, and I just told her, I'm not a perfect person. Now, that's not me saying I'm going to flaunt my faults and try to convince everybody to do them also. That's me saying, yeah, I know I have faults, I do what I can, and that's all I can do. And by the way, doing what I can is not promoting other people to have my same faults. In fact, it's me realizing my faults, and I can even help other people to minimize it in themselves. What a shocker that is, that if you have an issue, you can try to overcome it, and you can try to help other people to overcome it. But some people have this screwed up mindset that when they have an issue, that they should just convince everybody to have the same issue as them. And they should celebrate their issue. Let's say I have social anxiety, because that's a popular one nowadays. I don't go around waving a flag that says I have social anxiety and get with groups of people and celebrate our social I guess they wouldn't do that because they've got social anxiety. But I wouldn't get in a group with people and like celebrate social anxiety, go to schools and tell kids, it's okay to be nervous around other people. You should be nervous around other. Do you feel perhaps you have social anxiety. See, it's all right. You can just have this flag with your social anxiety and we can celebrate it. Like every year we can even teach classes on it in school, and we can convince other people that they have social. It's a nice, fun club, and if you have social anxiety, you're one of us. And those people that don't have social anxiety, they're mean people. They're privileged. No, of course, if I had social anxiety, I'm not going to try to convince other people. Ironically, I guess if you have social anxiety, you wouldn't be interacting with other people. But the point is, you have faults. You try to suppress your faults and be as good as you can. You don't try to be your worst parts. Say you have social anxiety, you are good at sports, and you're intelligent. Funny thing is good at, I guess I'm not good at, but I'm not talking about myself. Like, I don't have social anxiety. I'm not necessarily the most social person, because I don't like hearing nonsense, but I don't have social anxiety. But say you're social anxiety, good at sports, intelligent. Guess what? You focus on studying and learning things. You focus on playing sports, and you try as hard as you can to overcome your social anxiety. But you identify with your strengths, not with your weaknesses. A bodybuilder who's in great shape has tons of muscles, but has small calves. They identify with their big muscles, not with their small calves. An astronaut identifies as an astronaut, not as a person who doesn't know how to farm. Now, maybe some astronauts know how to farm. Point is, you identify with your strengths, not with your weaknesses. You don't promote weakness, you promote strength. Unless you're trying to weaken a population. Maybe that's what's going on. I guess I can transition into that because I have actually made a video on this, but I didn't want to release it because I've tried to be a little less controversial than my actual thoughts and me are, but now that I'm saying really how, I've known that things are going bad for a long time, but now that I'm not going to get kicked out of school for saying stuff like this, I have a little more freedom. I had to escape California, the very free place, so that I can have freedom of speech to talk negatively about all this garbage. But yeah, in case you haven't caught on, there's only one reason why you promote everything that's there's two reasons actually why you promote everything that's bad and weak. Any guesses? Now, you might guess it's hard to say which reason is bigger, but you might guess the obvious one, which is obvious for anyone with a brain, but not everyone has a brain. It's to weaken people. It's to weaken populations. It's to destroy countries. What a shocker. We're in the year 2022, and there's actually alternative ways of waging war that don't involve tanks and missiles. Yeah, believe it or not, that exists. Why should you send an army somewhere if you convince everyone to be dildo-loving, bong-smoking, couch-sitting people? You don't need to send an army. No, they're not going to be putting up any resistance. You can manipulate them all you want. You just, hey, we'll give you drugs. We'll allow you to have sex with the same sex. We'll do all this. And by the way, I'm not necessarily against any of that stuff, but I'm against promoting it. I'm against allowing it to run rampant into society so that society is weakened. But yes, one reason is to weaken a people so that they can be conquered without ever knowing that they've been conquered. You don't believe me? Think about it for a little bit. Again, I'm not saying that I hate you because you do any of those things. I'm not saying that there's never mind. Point is, it's used as a weapon. Number two reason, now not necessarily number two in ranking or something, but the other reason why this is promoted, and now there may be more reasons. I don't think about this every day, it's just very obvious, like I see it with clear eyes because I actually am able to think like people